I read chapters 16 and 17 of The Legal Environment of Business. From chapter 16, many things that pointed out to me that I found out to be pretty nice. I learned about a sole proprietorship, which is a business owned by one person who has sole control over management and profits. Um, Other businesses are run through a partnership, which is a voluntary association of two or more persons formed to carry on a business as co-owners for profit. Um, Other types of partnership include a general partnership. It is a partnership in which management and responsibilities and profits are divided among the partners, and all partners have unlimited personal liability for the partnership's debts. A limited partnership is a partnership that has one general partner who is responsible for managing the business and one or more limited partners who invest in the partnership but do not participate in the partnership and its management, whose liability is limited to the amount of capital that they contribute. And then there's also franchising, which is different than sole proprietorship and net partnership because it is a commercial agreement between a party that owns a trade name or trademark and a party that sells or distributes goods or services using the trade name or trademark. This is kind of a way of saying, how someone would be responsible for selling a product. Companies that I think are responsible for this are like supply chains with like industrial places who typically would sell products for other companies on behalf of them. In chapter 17, I mostly learned a lot about a lot between corporations as well as different types of source of income. An example of some corporations include a closely held corporation. It is a corporation whose stock is not traded on the National Security Exchange, but is privately held by a small group of people. A publicly held corporation is a corporation whose stock is traded on at least one national security exchange. A multinational corporation is a corporation whose production, distribution, ownership, and management span several nations. A professional corporation is a corporation that is organized by doctors, dentists, lawyers, accountants, or other professionals as specified in state statutes. I also had to learn a little bit more about bonds. Bonds are long-term loans secured by a line mortgage by corporate assets. A secured bond is a type of bond served by the issuer's pledge on a specific asset. A income bond is a bond whose payment of interest is dependent on sufficient earnings. A participating bond is a bond that pays both interest at a fixed rate and two dividends. A convertible bond are bonds that can be exchanged at a fixed rate for another type of security. And a callable bond is a bond which the issuer has the right to redeem prior to its initial maturity date under certain conditions. Aside from bonds, there are other types of income that are out there. There's capital structure, which the percentage of each type of capital, which can alter from debt, preferred stock, and common equity used by a corporation. Aside from capital structure, there's also stock warrant, which is a document authorizing its holder to purchase a stated number of shares of stock at a stated price, usually for a stated period of time. And also a stock option is a stock warrant issued to employees that cannot be traded. Basically, from learning about these two chapters, it helped me understand a lot more about ownership as well as franchising a company. It also ended up teaching me the different types of corporations that are out there. It also taught me a little bit more about when you accept certain different types of bonds, what is expected for them, as well as structure and as well as options that comes to investing into the stock market.